The ghost then drifted out of them, and the influence range is getting wider and wider. Countless ghosts in the city gathered towards the roof, and the perpetrator, Yuan Xiao, is frantically absorbing this huge soul power. Meanwhile, the headquarters of Demon City Temple suddenly sounded the alarm. Looking at the constantly flashing large screen in the command room, crisis situation, and the red area was spreading rapidly. Commander Han Longkei's face became more and more serious. He didn't expect to encounter such a situation on his first day. Didn't Tanka take this order? Where is that guy now? Even if he can be contacted, it's probably too late. It seems that we can only ask the people from that world. Just as he was hesitating, his subordinate rushed over to report. The data shows, in less than 3 minutes, all citizens in Lanshan district will die. There's only a first-class drugstore in Tenka. The location has been sent to him. But from his current location, he probably can't reach there. Hearing this, Han Longkei no longer hesitated. He immediately arranged to contact Su Weitang urgently. Send 2 Su Wei to the incident location. His subordinates received the order. They exclaimed, "Even Su Wei is going to be dispatched?" Su Weitang is another world. The guards of Su Weitang in Langting Demon City, responsible for the security of Langting Prison, including major emergencies caused by demons. At this time, the screen changed. On the building, Ren Xiao is still frantically absorbing a large amount of soul power. Just as he finally finished absorbing, he sensed signs of fluctuations behind him. He then turned around and looked. At some point, a mark appeared on the distant building. Then a red pillar of light flashed by. A human-shaped phantom appeared. After the light dissipated, 2 men in bronze masks, one fat and one thin, stood with their hands behind their backs. The fat one saw only one demon spirit in front of him, so he was a little contemptuous, sending both of us here. Was it overkill to send 2 of us? Su Wei asked him to be serious. According to the information provided by humans, the target is a person who hasn't appeared for hundreds of years. It's actually a woman. The transformation is a bit strange. After hearing this, the fat man flashed forward and planned to go and test it out first, and then rushed forward rapidly. His claws cut through the air, leaving a yellow glow. And Ren Zhao didn't sit still either. At this moment, he grinned and suddenly exerted force on his feet and rushed towards him. In the blink of an eye, knees hit the fat man's face. The fat man was then thrown back. He went fast and came back fast. Fortunately, he was stopped by the iron net, so he didn't fall down. Seeing this, still stood there with a calm expression. Yuan Xiao also came to the front after dealing with the fat man. "You seem much stronger than him." Before he finished speaking, his face suddenly changed. He controlled his body and quickly pulled away. Then he opened his mouth. When the soul power he absorbed, he spat it out all at once, forming a green light ball that rushed straight into the sky. Then one eye returned to normal. At this moment, Angeron actually regained some consciousness. But he found that he couldn't control his head and body. And Ren Zhao secretly thought it was bad. The power he had just regained. What a pity! The thin man didn't understand what was going on. Then he asked how the intelligence collection was. The fat man replied that, according to the elbow strike just now, Yuangxiu's speed and strength are both A-class. So only defense is left. He wanted to test it himself. At this time, Ren Zhao's face was hideous, was suppressing Enshoran's consciousness, and his pupils slowly turned yellow again. When the thin man came to the front, speed attack Ice Jade, and then a wall of ice rose up, with cold air rising, freezing him in place. However, a moment later, Yuang Xiao broke through the ice, with waist strength surrounding him. The thin man dodged, retreated to attract attention. The fat man suddenly appeared and attacked from behind. He didn't linger after a successful attack. He pulled away again. The thin man pointed his sword at the sky with one hand. Yuang Xiao's surroundings, dozens of black cones suddenly appeared, and then they rushed down, approaching him. As the thin man's sword light tightened, speed attacked the ink cone, and the cones also continuously attacked the target. After a long time, a cloud of dust dispersed, and it was calm again. Then a burning sound came from inside. It's ridiculous. With your little ability, want to defeat me? Obviously, these moves didn't cause much damage to him. The thin man couldn't help but sigh at this scene. His defense is A-class. Yuang Xiao's hard sack really lives up to its reputation. Then he turned to look at the fat man. The fat man just finished charging up, with black balls in both hands. Yuang Xiao wanted to rush over at this moment, but his body couldn't move. Then he found himself covered by the formation. This is the big move that the fat man has been brewing. Su Ying, heavenly stems and earthly branches. After the formation is activated, not only could he not move his body, but also his consciousness fell into a deep sleep. Then Ren Xiao knelt down and fell into a coma. However, he was stronger than expected. This formation can only trap him for 2 minutes. The fat man couldn't help but sigh. What did this guy experience in his lifetime? The thin man looked over there solemnly. He should have 1,000 years of cultivation. Although he has no consciousness, he has entered a state of self-protection. Short-term attacks can't do anything to him. The commander asked the situation through the aircraft and learned that the soul had been released. Ren Xiaoyao has been controlled. But before he's killed, these souls cannot return to their bodies. If Ren Xiaofeng's seal is lifted, it will be too late to kill him. If the souls in the sky wander for a long time, will slowly dissipate. The person who loses his soul will die completely. Now they are in a dilemma. But the citizens must be saved. Han Longkui looked serious, asking if he had a solution. Everyone answered truthfully, "There's a way." That is exile. Hearing this twice, Han Longkui sweated profusely. His subordinates also covered their mouths in disbelief. He had heard from his colleagues before. There was a mysterious jade seal in the headquarters, which can seal a large number of ancient demons, so humans can dominate and control them. Han Longkui's words came again. It's also called the third world. But if someone is to be exiled there, it takes time to report to the superior. Using it privately will definitely be punished. Pan Longkui made up his mind. Frowning and speaking, "Expel them immediately." The subordinate was stunned. Remind that he hasn't reported yet. Han Longkui's voice came again. Life is at stake. There's no time. I will bear all the consequences. Su Wei confirmed it again. Hearing the same reply, he immediately stopped hesitating and started forming seals. Then, several pale yellow light circles spread out from inside to outside. Then he chanted a spell. As soon as he finished speaking, a golden light flashed from his fingers and then directly inserted into the sky. At this time, a crack appeared in the sky, just like a vortex. And the golden light shone down. And the Fanka below also found this place according to the positioning. And the red thread on the compass also drifted towards here. The Thanka looked solemnly at the sky. It's so coincidental. To save the soul, now we need to exile the person to the third world. With the completion of the Su Wei spell, a vortex appeared in the sky, and golden light radiated down. Then the vortex grew bigger and bigger. A huge head slowly emerged from inside. The head opened its mouth wide. A golden light shot down continuously, and then directly shot down, covering the unconscious Yung Xiao. Under the illumination of the pillar, the binding man Xiao's barrier also cracked, and his body also flew straight up into the sky. At this time, the thread on the compass also came to the target. Seeing this scene, Tanka was a little confused. Why didn't the same evil disaster appear on him? But he seemed to have seen this back before. Thinking about it, it was the motorcyclist girl he passed by tonight. He immediately activated his elf eyes. After scanning, he found that her soul and the demon spirit had merged into one. This means that she was half human. This was the first time Tanka had encountered this. He felt it was interesting and immediately flew into the pillar. This opportunity was once in a lifetime. He had long wanted to go to that world. Then he also came to the giant beast and then flew in without hesitation. Everyone opened their eyes wide, seeing this scene, and were puzzled. Is that guy crazy? His subordinate asked cautiously. Could he entrust Su Wei to release Tanka? But got a negative reply from Han Longkui. It's a place where you can't come back. No human has ever entered it. We don't know if it will cause any major consequences. And even if he comes out alive, I will kill him. That little bastard never listened to me. Meanwhile, in the world of Fanshin, a giant pillar of light also lit up. The demons below are also watching all this. A huge pillar of light appeared in the sky, was seen by the demon spirits below who were eating. His name is Lei Yin, in this dark place. He didn't know how many years he had been there. To become stronger, he has to fight with other demons every day. Finally, he waited for this moment. At this moment, he rushed into the sky. He secretly thought to slaughter a city first after leaving, and then settle accounts with the old monster who sealed him. However, just as he reached out, his arm was suddenly wrapped by fire. Then a burst of energy erupted from the barrier and engulfed and burned him. After the light disappeared, the originally intact body, now only one eyeball was left. But with his ability, as long as there is one organ left, he can recover to his original form. But at this moment, it hit a person's face. The man then stretched out his ruthless palm and slapped it, muttering something. It's so disgusting. Tenka followed the girl's figure and landed on the ground. But after scanning around, found that he was not nearby. Standing there, he was secretly angry, but was targeted by a demon spirit named Lai Lai. The demon spirit, which looked like a wild boar, looked at Tenka, and saliva dripped to the ground. She just wanted to see which unlucky guy was locked up again. But she didn't expect it to be a human. This is a delicious meal that comes to her.